Ian McEwan's Atonement elucidates the prohibition of Robbie Turner from the Tallis family by getting arrested for a false accusation of assault and rape of Lola Quincy. Here, our attention gets captured by the phrase false accusation, giving rise to the question why or what Robbie did that such a detestable allegation is defamed upon him which ruins his life. Surely, McEwan gives answer to our curiosity by weaving a fine binary of self and other rooted on the immanent issue of classism. Associating the case, the author presents two figures, Paul Marshall and Robbie Turner, as the suspect of the crime. Here, we reach to an ironic turn, as even though the readers realize that Robbie cannot be the criminal, the people who reared him from his childhood fails to do so. In fact, Lola clearly points this out. But it doesn't make sense. He's such a close friend of your family. It might not have been him. It is Paul, the high-classed fortune maker's misdeed that Robbie, a Charlie's son, has to suffer the punishment of. The cause is embedded in the social structure where Robbie is thrown as economically and socio-politically futile, marginalizing him as the other of the society, totally subordinate to the elite self, like the Tallis family or Paul Marshall. The self-other binary is crucial in shaping identity, perception, and power dynamics as well as complicating subjectivity and truth. The novel heavily critiques class dynamics and the way social privilege influences justice, or, in this case, selective injustice. This social hierarchy arises the question that if Robbie would have been a part of the self as Paul Marshall, would the Tallis family have blamed Robbie of molesting Lola, barely relying on the statement of a 13-year-old girl Bryony? The legal system punishes Robbie, but not the actual perpetrator, Paul Marshall, reflecting the judicial discrimination. The family would have been blindly believed Bryony's claim if Paul faced the same scrutiny as Robbie. Marshall's wealth and influence ensures his protection, even his status shields him from suspicion. In fact, his status quo makes him eligible as a compatible partner for Cecilia, as both Emily and Cecilia are found dreaming of the marriage. Meanwhile, in spite of being undeniably intelligent and well educated, Robbie's working class background positions him as the outsider and more vulnerable to blame. He faces a tragic casualty of hierarchy rather than true justice. This disjunction plays into the class anxieties where intellect cannot always override inherited status. The Tallis family's willingness to accept Bryony's accusation without scrutiny suggests they were predisposed to view Robbie as a threat to their standards. So, ultimately, with wrongful accusation, they cast him outside the Tallis family's world. When Bryony falsely accuses Robbie, the family, especially Emily Tallis and Leon, seem primed to believe the worst about him because he was never truly one of them. Majorly, the first part of the novel, the Tallis family are seen to constantly suffer from a kind of jealousy, anxiety, tension, anger, and detestation towards Robbie for whatever opportunity he is provided with, and not to them in some extent. Cecilia stands in stark contrast, choosing to see him as an equal, which heightens the binary conflict. However, her endeavor to elevate Robbie to higher parameters drastically collapses, ultimately resulting in both of their death, underlining the grave consequences of challenging social conditionings. There is also the gendered element of power. Robbie, as the accused other, is denied his voice, while Bryony's accusation is immediately accepted as truth. McEwan plays with the idea of narrative control here. Who gets to tell the story and who is silenced by it? Of course, it is the self who gets the advantage of narration and the other is silenced. This condition directs to ample scattered examples throughout the literary canon. Like in William Shakespeare's Othello, Iago's narrative controls Othello's life. In Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, the creation faces catastrophic ending for getting excluded by its creator, as Santiago Nassar is murdered in Chronicle of a Death Foretold by Gabriel Garcia Marquez. Or Piggy dies in Lord of the Flies by William Golding. In conclusion, we may say that the title Atonement not only signifies Bryony's want of absolution for whatever she does, but it is also Roby's need of reparation for being born as the other, and at the same time Cecilia's adjure for expiation as she dares social consciousness. Therefore, these equations of binary plays a major role in comprising the structure of the novel. Thank you.